What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, Ben and I, or at least Ben, is going to this is a therapy session for Ben, pretty much, to just talk about how depressed he is as a Dolphins fan at the moment.
The stress of
Miami Dolphins
has caused me to go into a depression.
Pretty much got knocked out by a previous quarterback for a playoff spot, fire a head coach that seemed like he was on the right track, and then all these reports coming out saying that he was pretty much not a good dude. Yeah, so we have Ben here on the channel. Ben, you can go ahead. I know you're editing my video, so you can go ahead and put your channel up. But yeah, like I said, Ben, therapy session. What I want to kind of do is just kind of break down, because the Dolphins do have, it's an intriguing offseason for the Dolphins, because they have the most cap room in the NFL, or they will, even if they don't, I think renounce some guys or whatever, right? Because they still have around 70 million.
They have around 70 million, and then there's a report that came out that they can create over 100 million by cutting deadwood, which they won't because they don't have Andy Ellisberg, but they could do that.
That would be dope. I mean, 100 million, that could get you.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
A lot in the NFL right now. Definitely reshape your roster. I mean, we saw what that did to the Patriots. They spent over 200 million in salaries, and I got them a first round knockout, a wild card knockout, but they got them at least into the playoffs. Shut up. So Ben also did a more in-depth breakdown video. This isn't what's going to be like an in-depth breakdown video of what the Dolphins need. He did that on his channel, so go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And also, Ben will probably flash his channel every now and again because he's editing this, and why not for the self-promo. So let's just get right into it. So let's just say you don't clear out the extra 30 million in deadwood. You have 70 million. You said in your video that there's a couple of free agents that you'd like to see back. Who were those couple people?
Who? So there are a lot of guys. There are mainly two that we have had to, as a Dolphins fan base, have had to kind of concern about because they're out of contract and they're major parts to their offense and defense respectively. But, guys like Nick Needham, Mac Hollins, Josh Coleman, Adam Butler, Duke Johnson, those guys. But two guys that we've always had to look at is Emmanuel Ogbah and Mike Gesicki. Now, I am for sure having to re-sign Ogbah. He's become an insane edge rusher, guy off the edge. He's been unbelievable. I think he leads the league in tipped balls, and I think with him, it's a no-brainer. I mean, even Drew Rosenhaus, who I think is a piece of shit at best, has come out and said he wants to stay in Miami. He has come out and said he wants to stay in Miami, and he can see himself be here long term. Gesicki is a little bit of a different story. I said this before, it has to come down to the coach. If the coach wants to run a vertical style offense, that's where he's going to thrive, because that's when you get the mismatch between middle linebackers. That's when you get the mismatch in slot corners, because that's what you have to go after, because Gesicki is an athletic dude. That's why, if we're going to go into the coaching real quick, I want Mike McDaniel, because look what he did to George Kittle.
You mentioned that Mike McDaniel is your top choice as a quarterback, and you said tight end wise, that's would that fit Mike Gesicki's spot? Would you then have to target another tight end then?
It depends. A lot of people, there has been reports, as of recording, we're recording this on the 18th. I don't know when this is going to go out. His meeting is tomorrow with the Dolphins, and I said hopefully he smashes it, which apparently everyone expects him to. The reason why I like him so much is he's an offensive genius. Remember, he was the running back coach for 3 years. Remember how good San Francisco's running game was.
That pretty much got him to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
That 1 year.
And he's been the offensive coordinator for the past year. Everyone from the Shanahan tree, Shanahan, his son, you have McVay, you also have LaFleur, has gone on to be great coaches, great offensive-minded coaches. He's a part of that tree, and everyone in that tree raves about him. I mean, he literally went to Yale. This is someone who, yes, he's a boom or bust pick, because you don't know if he's going to be a leader of men. You don't know if he's going to be a guy that can go out and build a good relationship with players like Flores did to the defensive team. But I will say, outside of Doug Peterson, which we haven't gone into yet, and we haven't asked for an interview, Mike McDaniel is my pick. I think he's going to be fantastic.
Now, all right, there was something on Twitter that I saw that all this interview is just a circus because realistically, Stephen Ross is going to backtrack on saying like, yeah, I'm not going to bring Harbaugh to the NFL. Is that that isn't your top choice? Because I would honestly assume so. Like he is so good on both sides of the ball and is a proven winner.
Harbaugh's a fantastic coach. And to me, there's no doubt that if he becomes available, he might work. But remember, he's also a guy that wants control. Same way Flores wanted control. He's also a guy that wants control. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic coach.
It's all about, think it would work well with Greer.
With Greer and Ross. And besides,
to be fair, that was the issue in San Francisco.
Yeah, the end. And besides that, I think the quote was he's not going to be the one to take him out of Michigan. So if he leaves Michigan, then he comes into play. We're going to go interview Harbaugh. But for right now, Stephen Ross is putting his alma mater in front of the team that he owns, which I don't get.
Shitty, but that sucks. All right, so let's just really quickly. You didn't really touch upon this. You more touched upon who they should re-sign. Who do you think they should either? I mean, you did talk about A.J. Dillon as a potential running back target, but who else should they, in terms of trade, but who else, either a trade or free agent signing? Is there, obviously the offensive line needs work. I think that weapons around Tua definitely need work. I don't know if you keep Devontae Parker or not. I don't know. Obviously, I think you let Will Fuller go. I think that was obviously just like the worst contract that this offseason. Obviously Jalen Waddle has proven to be, I think, Tua's top choice. But if you add another two primary receivers around him, I think this offense could be explosive depending on who the coach is. I don't think adding Vance Joseph is going to do anything to the offense. I think it's going to actually regress the offense even below Flores, what Flores had it. Who, in your opinion, because there's a lot of reports, and there's one name I really want you to mention because I really like. Who do you think it should be Miami targeting, either trade or free agency?
So free agency, I said this in my video, and I said they have to buy offensive line talent. They are horrible at scouting offensive talent in the draft, or offensive line talent at least.
Eichenberg didn't do it for you?
Eichenberg, he's been up and down. The only person that I really think could be back next year is either Michael Dieter or Robert Hunt.
Robert Hunt almost had the best touchdown in NFL history.
And be honest, at this point, they should have just counted it. They should have been like, I'm just going to take the penalty, just go. But really, so Teron Armstead, Orlando Brown, even Trent Brown, even though I think he's kind of up and down at times as well. Those guys I think you'd have to look at. But outside of that, offensive weapon talent, which I know everyone wants to talk about, Calvin Ridley, I would love to see Miami spend the second round pick getting him back to the crib. I know a lot of people are worried because he did take some of the season off for mental health issues, which
I just don't think he wanted to play for the Falcons, which I don't blame him.
Bro, if I had to play for the Falcons, I'd also have mental health issues.
Look, if he did have some, because that is a big subject going on in the world of sports right now. So if that is I'm pretty sure that is he probably just wanted a break from sports and dealing with all that kind of stuff, the minutia that comes with the NFL. So hopefully he did get his mind right. But also I feel like a part of it's why the fuck am I playing for the fucking Falcons at this point? Matty Ice isn't it anymore.
Yeah, and trust me, look, mental health.
He's best next to Stone Cold and Ice Cube at this point. That's the only time he's good.
No, but I agree with you. Mental health is incredibly important. I'm a psychology major, so yeah. But
I know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Second semester in. I know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm. But through trade, there's not a lot of wide receivers. Devontae Parker has kind of come up in trade talks. I don't know. Him and Tua don't seem to be on the right page at all times because Tua doesn't really like to throw the one-on-one contested. It seems like, which is
Devontae Parker's specialty. To throw it because I think he's done that He's done that sometimes at Alabama.
The thing is, in his first year, that was their goal line play. The goal line play were fades to Devontae Parker, and then they became fades to Matt Collins. That was their goal line play to try and score. So it worked then. The thing is, and then now they expanded it because they had Dumb and Dumber as their offensive coordinators, where it was the RPO, throw out, throw fast because you don't have a good offensive line, and throw as efficiently as you can Devontae Parker doesn't strive in that system. Devontae Parker needs to get that one-on-one ball, which Tua can throw with a good pocket. I'm not going to get into your argument again. I'm not going to do that Tua argument. I'm like 4 days sober, like, trust me. But no, seriously, I do think that Devontae Parker, if he stays, I think is a good second to third wide receiver. But I think if you're going to sign Matt Collins can kind of do the Devontae Parker job, and they're going to have to re-sign Matt Collins. So
it makes sense to go after, because Calvin's almost like that, and same thing with Devontae Adams, the one-on-one. So would it make sense at that point?
It would make sense to trade Devontae Parker if you would go at if you are specifically going after.
No, but to even target like a Devontae, I mean, because he's a free agent, and obviously whatever's going on in Green Bay is going on in Green Bay, which we could cover in a later video. But if is it going to be the same thing like with Devontae Adams? If they try to go after Devontae Adams and Calvin Ridley, like, because I do feel like they are similar in the sense of they do want the one-on-one matchups. Like, I know Calvin more so can go like run those slants across the field. It's more, I feel like it's more slot than anything, if that makes sense. But would that?
I think again, the main priority is if you can get a good clean lineup for offensive line, yes, then go after those guys. But that's your main, like that trickles down. If you don't want to do anything about the offensive line, then go out and get a guy like Chris Godwin or Mike Williams. Like, do that instead of going after guys that need that one-on-one contested matchup. Jalen Waddle, the great thing about him is that he has speed, but he's also he's also getting better at route running. So that's how exciting he's become. If you want a guy that has that one-on-one battle, yes, of course, by all means, go after a guy like Devontae Adams. Go after a guy like Calvin Ridley, which, again, I would love to see Calvin Ridley. But it all depends on if you can get an offensive line around him. And it's funny because we've been saying this for the past couple of years with every quarterback we've had.
Yeah, it's pretty much been since, like, Tannehill, that you get and Titans proved it. A lot of it also has to come from King Henry, but like the Titans proved that you give Tannehill a clean pocket, I mean, he can do a lot of good things for that offense. For any offense, I guess. But is there just to wrap it up, top 5 free agent signings or players to trade for?
Players to trade for. Again, I really like AJ Dillon. I don't think they'll cough him up because
the list can combine. You don't have to do like 10 players.
Okay, list can combine. Okay, cool. So that frees up my. It looks like McCaffrey is going to leave. That's going to be too steep, so I'm not going to put it on the list. I'm going to say Barkley, because Saquon apparently wants to leave, which again I don't blame him. I'd put him there. I'd put AJ Dillon there, and then I'd love to see Calvin Ridley, but. Out of that, I mean, it's going to be probably Orlando Brown and Teron Armstead to me, because if not Orlando Brown, because I know Orlando he didn't want to play right tackle or left tackle, which was the problem because he wanted to get paid like a blindside blocker. So then go after a guy like Morgan Moses or Trent Brown after that, but you have to build the offensive line. Those are 1 and 2.
Right. So that is gonna be it for this Dolphins video. We're probably gonna do other there's a lot of storylines going on in the NFL right now. I mean, yeah, we have the divisional game coming up, which I will post a video soon if this video doesn't come up before the divisional. If this video comes before the divisional video that I'll be making, then it'll come up before whatever. You guys will see whenever this video comes up, whether the divisional game comes up or not. So make sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications. That way you guys can see when either or comes up, or future projects as well. And then also, we're probably going to be, Ben and I are going to be probably doing this more often, where it's either on my channel or his channel, where he's going to be discussing, like, where we can be discussing different NFL teams and that kind of stuff. So make sure to subscribe to both of us. Ben, again, once again, you can just flash your, since you're editing this. But that is it for us. Ben, one last therapy cry out as a Dolphins fan. You want to just one last thought?
Okay, all right. I have one last thought. I'm just gonna say this: Tua is still the best Alabama quarterback in the league. He is still better than some guys that didn't make the playoffs, and he's probably better than 2 quarterbacks that did. He just needs an offensive line.
Okay, all right. Well, obviously the Tua 2-on run strong with Ben, and also the Tua pushing has also continued the agenda.
Fuck you, Christian.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure to like and subscribe, post notifications. Go check out Ben's video. Link will be in the description down below and his channel. And yeah, that'll be it for us. Take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.